So, which are the ecosystem services or ecological services? Biodiversity is most essential for the maintenance and utilization of the goods and services of the ecosystems. Biotic communities render valuable and indispensable ecological service for sustaining life on Earth. Some of their ecological roles are the following: harvesting and fixation of solar energy by phototrophs, then the maintenance of atmospheric gas composition and gas balance by plants and animals, control of climate by forests and oceans, maintenance of stable and self-sustaining ecosystems through species interactions, natural pollination of flowers by insects, snails, birds, bats, etc., biological control of pests by the predators and parasites of pests, formation and protection of soil, purification and conservation of water, recharging of groundwater and protection of watersheds from flood and drought, biological control of pests, formation and protection of soil, purification and conservation of water, recharging of groundwater and the protection of watersheds from flood and drought, regulation of water cycle and nutrient cycling, decomposition and cycling of wastes, protection from flood and storm, provides habitat, food and raw materials, provides habitats, food and raw materials, along serves as an invaluable genetic resource. So, which are the regulation of water cycle and nutrient cycling, decomposition and cycling of waste happening, and then the protection from flood and storm, provides habitats, food and raw materials, serves as an invaluable genetic resource. Now let's learn about the values of biodiversity. The values of biodiversity as far as mankind is concerned fall under two major categories, namely direct values and indirect values. So which are the direct values? Direct values, also known as use values or commodity values. They mostly include the products harvested by mankind. Direct values can be readily estimated by observing and monitoring the activities of the people at the collection points of normal products and also by examining trade statistics. Direct values are of two kinds, namely consumptive use value and productive use value. Which are the two types? Direct values are of two kinds, namely consumptive use value and productive use value. First one is the consumptive use value. Consumption, related to consumption. This is the usefulness of biodiversity in providing goods and materials for the direct use of consumption of man and domestic animals. Such items include food, fuel, wood, fodder, etc., that are consumed locally without figuring in international markets and national income accounts. An example is provided by firewood and cattle dung. This satisfies up to 90% or more of the primary energy needs of mankind in several underdeveloped countries. Still, they very seldom appear in national and international markets and national income accounts. Next is the productive use value. First one is the consumptive use value. Next one is the productive use value. This is the usefulness of biodiversity in providing biological products that are harvested or collected and sold or exchanged in formal markets. So they figure in national and international markets and national income accounts. Thus, the productive value of biodiversity is mostly related to marketable commodities. Some of such commodities are timber, tubers, fruits, nuts, berries, gums, resins, oils, medicinal plants, natural fibers, fish, meat, animal skin, ivory, musk, honey, beeswax, natural pearls, and lac, etc. These are the useful. This is the usefulness of biodiversity in providing biological products that are harvested or collected and sold or exchanged in formal markets. So, they figure in national and international markets and national income accounts. Thus, the productive value of biodiversity is mostly related to marketable commodities. The first one, or the consumptive use value, was not related to marketable commodities, but this one is related to marketable commodities, and that is why it is termed as a protective use value. Now, the next major topic, that is the indirect values. Indirect values of biodiversity are the benefits and services provided by living organisms. They do not involve the harvesting of biotic resources. Indirect values include the ecological, educational, cultural, social, and ethical services. The major indirect ecological value of biodiversity are the following. So, indirect values include the ecological, educational, cultural, social, and ethical services. The major indirect ecological values of biodiversity are the following: energy fixation through photosynthesis, and gene flow through pollination and sexual reproduction, maintenance of water cycle, recharging of groundwater, protection of watersheds, soil formation and the protection of soil from erosion, maintenance of nutrient cycling, absorption and decomposition of organic wastes, soil formation and the protection of soil from erosion, maintenance of nutrient cycling, absorption and decomposition of organic wastes, pesticides and pollutants, regulation of weather and climate, purification of air and water. Indirect values fall into two categories, namely non-conceptive use values and aesthetic, cultural, and social values. So, which are the non-consumptive use values? This mainly include the ecological services, ecotourism, educational research, medical research, etc. These are never directly used or consumed by man, not traded in markets. Next is the aesthetic, cultural, social, and ethical values. Biodiversity has always been a major source of aesthetic, cultural, and social advantage to mankind. The beauties, marvels, mysteries, and wonders of the living world often attract our aesthetic imaginations and curiosities and arouse our fine sentiments. Also, the living world provides us enough chances for social and cultural activities. These activities increase the quality of our life and also make us believe that mankind is an integral part of the biological biotic world, and the diverse forms of life are essentials for its existence.